Hey everyone. The U.S. is approaching an important crossroads that could define the trajectory of the economic recovery and the outlook for several types of commercial real estate. Let me rewind for a moment to put the outlook in perspective. The initial impact of the health crisis was severe. In March and April, the U.S. lost more than 22 million jobs and retail sales dropped by 16%. In May, several states made the decision to reopen their economies early, allowing restaurants, gyms, and retailers to get back to business while still trying to apply physical distancing guidelines. This generated a boost to the economy in May and June, supporting the recovery of about 7.5 million jobs and generating a 12% bounce in retail sales. But the reopening came with a price. While the states that took it on the chin in the early stages of the pandemic, like New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts, maintained their lockdown and kept the spread of new cases contained, the states that reopened in May and June have seen a dramatic rise in COVID cases. This is forcing many of those states like Arizona, Florida, and Texas to walk back their reopening process and close businesses again. And while several states are moving back toward a partial shutdown, which will cost jobs and cut retail sales, several of the most important components of the stimulus package are burning off. Most importantly, the expanded federal unemployment benefits that add $600 per week will end on July 31st. A new stimulus package is in the works, but we won't know what that looks like until the end of July. If the expanded unemployment benefits are not renewed at some level, the impact on several commercial real estate property types could be significant. Apartments, particularly workforce housing populated by people who earn a living in retail, restaurants, and similar consumer-facing businesses, could see a significant impact. Self-storage, another consumer-facing business, could also see a pullback in occupancy rates, and other property types that could feel the pinch are the two sectors that have already been hit hardest: retail and hotels. Last year, hotels recorded occupancy levels averaging 66.2%, but they were hit hard, with occupancies falling to 21% in April. Since then, hotel occupancy rates have recovered to about 45.5%, but if several states go back into lockdown and the expanded unemployment benefits end, the hotel recovery will weaken. So a lot is riding on public policy right now, both at a federal and state level. We'll know more within the next 30 days. The key issues will be whether the spread of the coronavirus can be recontained, how tightly states have to re-lock down, and what Congress does with the next round of stimulus. That said, I have to reiterate, not every property type will be affected in the same way. Industrial, suburban office, and single-tenant retail still remain very sound. And over the longer term, all types of commercial real estate have solid demand drivers. The short-term outlook is very bumpy. But looking forward into 2021, as medical solutions hopefully come into play, underlying demand will begin to normalize. So, as long-term investors, we need to keep our eyes on the horizon.